How do we know what is the truth of what we are consuming? Maybe there are aspects of this story that don't have the power to come forth. All these things, they contribute to people wanting to say mean things. Good morning, traveler of worlds, and welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a little bit different than usual. Usually I just film a couple of days during my week and I make a video out of that. This one, I had two things in mind. First is I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So filming several days was not very tempting at the moment. Second, I have had a couple of thoughts once again recently, and yeah, I thought I'd like to share them with you. And those are obviously based on the title, or as you can see from the title, very much regarding social media. These are just practical things I'm using. These are things that I'm using for myself to kind of have a relatively peaceful relationship with it. And I thought, you know what, maybe someone else can benefit from hearing it. And if you don't, then, you know, you just go. You just go. That sounds very rude. But like, you don't take it with you. But yeah, I'm just gonna, I have a very mundane day planned with painting and saving my sourdough starter, perhaps getting outside a little bit, reading, things like that. And I thought I'd share my thoughts, my thoughts, my tips, I don't know, my experiences with social media along the way. I definitely noticed that I haven't talked to the camera for over a week because it feels a little bit awkward. I apologize. No, I don't. I don't apologize. I have absolutely no reason to apologize. So no, I take that back. I'm not apologizing. Anyway, I am working on a fairly big piece, a big painting. So I'm gonna start working on that, and then I'll just share my thoughts as I go. Does that sound okay to you? I hope so. If not, you can always click away. So, you know, I'm just gonna do my thing, and yeah. I hope you stick around though. Oh gosh, I should have warmed up or something. Anyway, painting, I need gloves. Hi, girlie, beauty. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was something that my dad actually shared with me when I first started out with YouTube and started learning how to use a camera and film myself and stuff like that. And it's something really simple. It is that as soon as you put a camera on somebody, they become actors. As soon as you put a camera on somebody, they become actors. What do I mean by that? Well, imagine, we know when we watch a movie or we watch a TV show or we watch a documentary, These are all very thought through stories. These are people who are being hired to take a certain role, and there are people being hired for the clothes, for the scenes. There are people being hired for the stories. And we all know these things really well. It's very, very obvious for us, but I think that it's easy to forget that, the influencer industry is perhaps what I'm aiming for here, is pretty much the same. When, let's just use me as an example. When I know I'm going to film a video, I, a couple of days in advance I start, okay, what would be nice to put into it? What do I want to work on when I'm filming? What painting shall I work on? What do I want to talk about? What do I want my topic to be? And what do I want my scenes to look like? What do I want? Well, I enjoy doing this. I really enjoy going for the cinematic in my videos. And so I'm very much like, okay, how I'm going to set up my lighting? What do I want my scenes to be? Are my scenes straight in the sense that, like, are lines aligning? Am I using 3-point perspective? Am I using, the rule of thirds? All these kind of things. I am going through it in my mind. And as much as I really truly feel that I'm very authentic when I'm talking to you, because I enjoy it, I enjoy connecting to you, I enjoy talking to you, I enjoy being myself with you. The fact is still, I am right now talking to a camera and you are watching me through a screen. And if I do something weird, if I say something weird, or I suddenly lose my ability to talk, I'm just gonna edit that out in post. Just goes to show that no matter how authentic I feel, and no matter how authentic I think I am, which I think I am, I think I'm quite authentic, it is not, I am still kind of acting in the sense that I have something recording me, I know there is an audience, I can go back in post and change things and enhance it, I can take it away, I can edit it, and it just takes away the truth from what you are seeing. Keep in mind that you are watching them through a screen. You are watching them through the internet, something that they have decided to post on there for you, for your eyes to watch and to consume. And they have created it exactly how they want it to seem. And that, you might disagree here, but that sounds an awfully lot like a TV show episode to me, or a movie to me, if that makes sense. So that is, I think the whole point of this is I try to keep that in mind, that everyone becomes actors in front of a camera, because it helps me distance me from the lives I see online. Quickly, I'll show you. I personally think that this side of my flowers look the prettiest. So I'm going to put it there so that you can see the pretty side of my flowers. That is one part where I am not real when I'm filming. Focus. Hello, we're back. For the second topic I wanted to talk about, let me have some coffee first. The point for this one is that anything that I can't physically touch or see or experience, it is in my reality. Now this might sound very black and white, or naive even, I don't know, but that is how I feel about it, because on the internet, we are presented with so much information, so many stories, so many people, so many conflicts and things happening. And how do we know what the truth is? How do we know what is the truth of what we are consuming? Because there are so many narratives, there are so many sides to a story. Some people who have less confidence, who have less power, the normal people, the people like us, we who don't have loud noises or big platforms to speak our mind on, our opinions and our stories are easily the ones falling to the background. And something that I've seen very prominently on the internet over the years is that it's the people with the loudest noises, the people with the biggest ability to write dramatic big headlines and, film the worst footage and show the worst things. Those are the stories that are being shown. Those are the stories that reach us first. And that is exactly the thing. It is being shown to us. It is being given to us through a screen. We watch it, we consume it, and it's very easy to take that as your reality, that this is what's going on, this is how things are, this is the truth of this story. And I find it quite a dangerous thing if we allow our minds to so easily be swept up by a story and take it as truth. And so, I try to approach the internet with a mind that it doesn't matter what I see, it doesn't matter what I hear or what story I'm being told. Yes, I might resonate with things that are being said. Yes, it might make sense to me. And yes, it is something that, okay, this is, I might think of it as truth in the moment. But I'm also trying to keep a very open mind that I will never believe anything 100%, and I will stay open-minded enough that when other narratives show up, when other stories show up, I have the ability to change my mind and to build another opinion of something. And just keeping my eyes and my ears open for other input, because it might come or it might not come. And if it doesn't come, I still want to have the space in my head to think that, okay, but maybe there are aspects of this story that don't have the power to come forth. And so I need to have space in my head for that probability. I think one picture that kind of describes my whole rant here better than I can ever put into words, I'll put it here somewhere. It is, if I remember it correctly, it is like a film camera with a screen and a man behind it. And then there's a scene, something happening in front of it. And on the camera screen, one man is stabbing another man. If you look behind the screen, it's still a man stabbing another man, but the man who seems to be stabbing is actually the man running away, and the man looking scared on the screen is actually the man stabbing. And I think that just shows, it shows my thoughts very well, because I don't always feel like I'm good at explaining what I'm thinking. So that was the second one. Now, point number 3, which kind of builds upon what's just kind of the reversed version of the first point, which was everything. Everyone becomes actors in front of a camera. This one is more about you personally, especially if you're one who uses social media to share your artwork, to share yourself, to share things you do, things you talk about. This point has been personally very, very important. And that is, I heard it from a book called The 4 Agreements. I don't remember the author's name, but I'll put it somewhere. And this agreement was titled, what was it again? I forgot. Don't take anything personally. Do not take anything personally, because eventually no one really knows you. That might sound very depressing, and that's not how I mean it. I personally find it a good thing. But it has helped me a lot to just tell myself, you know what? No one's opinions has a right to kind of affect me, because they are just opinions from somebody who ultimately doesn't know who I truly am. When someone gives you a comment, when someone gives you a message, and it is either like critique on who you are, what you look like, what you do, or it is downright just trolling and awful stuff. I personally have found that it just helped that, you know what right do they have to say anything about me because they don't know me? They perhaps feel they have the right to say something because you publicly put yourself out there, and okay, that might be a point. You're kind of asking for interaction because of it. But you're not asking for trolling. You're not asking for people to be mean or having unnecessary critique. And it's sad that social media is such a big platform for that. Most of the time, I say most, and I'm not saying everyone, but it's either someone who gives you an opinion or says something bad about you, either projects their own emotions onto you, that, you know, they are projecting the things they feel bad about themselves, they project it onto you to make themselves feel better. Or they don't like the way you live, or they are just downright kind of detached from other people's emotions. I can imagine that it's difficult to remember that the person on the internet is a person. They have emotions, they react to the things that you say. And some people might easily forget that, and maybe even aren't aware that the things they say are hurtful. And I think we also live in a society where there is a big norm about how we live as children, how we get our educations, how we grow up, what we do as an adult. And maybe people have a hard time sometimes to see someone else live differently. Maybe they deep inside want to live differently too, but they are so ingrained in this societal normal path that they don't know how, and it makes them bitter. Or they just think it's downright wrong to live differently when there are certain expectations. And all these things, they contribute to people wanting to say mean things. Anyway, don't take anything personally. That's easier said than done, but try. Try. If you'd like. I'm not here to say what you're gonna do. Jeez, my brain, blah, blah. Snuck out into the woods and I'm whispering because it's not a public wood, but like it's not in the middle of the woods, so if someone, walks by, they might probably hear me, and that would be really weird. I just wanted to say that the woods haven't been so bare and so green actually in so many months now, and it's so beautiful. Like everything looks very dead. And there's still there's still snow and everything looks really sad, but in a way it's beautiful, because I know that when this sad time arrives, that means we are on the brink of spring. Not on the brink of spring, but like the next step will be spring. And I can't wait for that. I can't wait for spring. Oh, I'm so excited. So, just to see this sad layer of gray snow, sad looking trees, everything looking sad, makes me really happy. So, I have another thing that I wanted to share with you, which again bleeds into the other things, but this one is more like a practical step you can take, you can do, if you like, if you want to distance yourself a little bit more. And I feel that this one really helps me out, but it does require your it requires that you tell yourself, you tell your brain to actually do something, and you kind of need to activate the action. But once you do it, it's a huge relief, and it really creates a sense of peace when you manage it. The point is to physically step away from the internet, physically step away from social media. So with that, I mean physically stepping away from your phone, your tablet, your TV, your computer. Just physically separate yourself from it. How do you do that? Well, at work it's perhaps difficult, or when you're out and about it's difficult, but when you're at home, put your phone, put your internet device in another room, or go out of that room and leave the internet devices behind. Physically make a distance between yourself and the thing. There is just something so simple about feeling the distance between you and the thing that connects you to everything and everyone. It brings such a sense of peace. And I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is such a simple thing, and yet it has such a profound impact. And this one really, really helps me out when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel like I'm consuming too much. I just need to take the step of telling myself, Frederike, you are consuming too much of the World Wide Web. Go away now. Go away now. Go do something else. And don't bring your internet devices with you. You know, we feel often that we're missing out, or what if we don't bring our phone, then we can't take pictures of things, and then we can't do this and we can't do that, and maybe we, miss a big news, or we miss someone uploading, and it's sad, because everything there ever is the present. The moment we have now is all there really is. And we can only have that present moment with ourselves, with our loved ones, with everything that is physically around us. And our phone isn't it. Now I have gotten too much snow in my shoes, so my feet are frozen. So I'm gonna go back inside. There was one last thing I wanted to share with you. And that is the recommendation to delete unnecessary noisy apps from your phone, especially the ones that are fear-inducing. Apps that make you want to check your phone all the time, even though you know it makes you anxious. This might look different for everyone, and it might not be for everyone. But for me, personally, a highly sensitive, anxious being who has a hard time separating the pain of the world from herself, this has been absolutely essential. I used to believe that I needed to stay up to date on all the horrible things happening, all the deaths, the wars, the unfairness. I thought I needed to hear everything going on, because if I didn't, I was a naive, uncaring person consumed only by my own life. I thought that consuming the darkness was the only thing I could do to bring the tiniest bit of justice to all the pain and all the people suffering. This eventually led to the most depressing period of my life. And at one point I concluded that I didn't want to live in this world anymore. If this was all there was to it, horror, injustice, pain, fear, towards the people who least deserve it, then I don't want to live. I was younger at the time and unable to distinguish social media from my reality, and I got out of it eventually. I am more able to distinguish my life from the internet now, but these feelings sneak up at times when I'm mentally vulnerable. And so strictly containing the source of my triggers, which in my case are most apps on my phone, news outlets, watching dramas, thrillers, etc., has been essential for my healing journey. The biggest thing I learned from it is that I don't change the world or help anyone by digging my own grave next to theirs. I can, however, change the world and help others by finding the light and the love, and spread the goodness and hope to the best of my ability. Something that is desperately lacking in any media outlet, in my opinion. Stepping away from the horrors of the world doesn't mean you are turning a blind eye. You very well know that it exists, that's the whole point. You know that this pain is out there, it's everywhere, in every soul, in every home, in every society, in every country. But so is love and kindness. So is beauty, hope, and light and joy. And in my opinion, the only way for me to fight this darkness and help others is to overflow it with as much light that I can muster, and in doing so create a ripple effect that will encourage others to do the same, hopefully. So, I can highly recommend deleting the things that cast a shadow on your light. You don't need a constant reminder that the world is burning because you already know this. You need daily reminders of all the beautiful, tiny things that make your life worth living. Thank you so much for watching. You are wholeheartedly welcome to join this little healing community if you'd like. Know that I'd love to have you. And for all of you returning, know that it means the absolute world to me to have you here. I send you all my love and light always. Oop and Bam Bam send their biggest hugs. And I will see you next week. Bye.